Let's get candles lit here on Between the Slicks. Welcome to you, drag racing fan. I'm the Monday morning racer Lee Craft, and this is Between the Slicks, a live drag racing talk show where we talk about it all in drag racing. It is not just NHRA, it's not just PDRA, it's not just FCC. If it's drag racing and the people involved in it, from the fan to the driver, the crew chief to the one turning the wrenches, we want to talk about it right here on Between the Slicks. Good to have you. Hit the like button, hit the share button for me, hit the subscribe button if you are watching on YouTube. By the way, please watch on the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel. That actually has the most direct impact to me. But thank you for watching on the Monday Morning Racer Twitter account, Facebook page, and also want to welcome the Competition Plus Facebook audience and the Drag Racing Connection audience on Facebook. Good evening, Mark. Good evening, Doug. And Drag Racing Central chimes in and says, Julie should definitely be on Nitro Team's radars as a future driver. And with Drag Racing Central mentioning Julie, well, that's who we're going to have on the show tonight. Julie Nataas is going to be live with us tonight. Looking forward to chatting with her first appearance on Between the Slicks, and interesting developments for her recently. She is not just a licensed dragster driver anymore. Oh, she's certainly that, and she's going to be campaigning that dragster for a full pool in 2023, but she also is now an A-Fuel funny car licensed driver. That Randy Meyer Racing funny car got down the track in Houston in testing, and she has earned her license, and that creates an interesting development for her, for NHRA, for Funny Car Chaos, for Nitro Chaos, and I think a element that showcases that she is a star, certainly, but should be counted as a growing, ever brighter star in drag racing. Here you have this young lady that is from an exotic region, if you will, being out of the land of, ice and snow and the hot springs blow, and you have a young lady that is attractive, and she is driving seemingly everything nitro now, a rail and a funny car. No telling where she may go in her career. We may very well ask about those things. But it's going to be good to have her on the show tonight. That's going to be in roughly about 25 minutes or so. If you did not catch last week's show, we had NHRA Top Fuel owner and driver Buddy Hull on, along with his newly appointed crew chief, Mike Guger. He will be turning the knobs on the Buddy Hull racing endeavor, along with Methanol Moonshine on board this year. VertexRoofers.com top fuel machine in NHRA Camping World competition. Their first race of the year will be Phoenix. They will be in Phoenix for their first competition in NHRA Top Fuel drag racing this year. But you can catch that show on the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel. Mike Guger, Buddy Hull, chatted with them last week, and a good chat it was. Glad that Mike is back in the scene. Doug Core says, I'll see Julie at No Problem Raceway next week. Man, that's just it. There is plenty of drag racing happening right now. Like Sick Week is going on. There have been some spiels and thrills at Sick Week and some great competition. They wrap up tomorrow at Orlando. I'm not going to talk a lot about Sick Week right now. I want it to get completed, and then I'm going to reach out to my main man, Michael Narks, the drag and drive aficionado guru, know-it-all, and we'll see if we can get him on next Thursday and chat some Sick Week and drag and drive, his observations from Sick Week as it has been going on in mainly Florida, but they also have been to Valdosta at South Georgia Motorsports Park, and they wrap up tomorrow at Orlando. But look, going to be cool that you get to see her at No Problem Raceway. Go by the holler and definitely tell her, hey, I saw you on Between the Slicks on the Monday Morning Racer platform, and thank you, Doug, for your support. I appreciate it. Drag racing is happening everywhere. I mean, Lights Out is upon us, and March Meet is growing closer, and the Baby Gators is out there. We're not that far from the first NHRA national event of the year and roll into Funny Car Chaos with the Funny Car Chaos Classic, and it just continues. It is jam-packed. Sega starts in March as well down at Reynolds, Georgia. It's going to be jam-packed. March is going to be wild. March is going to be wild. Mike says, evening, Lee. Glad to watch Julie's progress this last weekend in Houston. What a difference just a few months makes. Oh, very cool that you got to see it. You know, I wish that just had like unlimited budget and could just bebop all around and catch these test sessions and film and take photos. I don't have that quite yet. Maybe I'll get there one day. It certainly has progressed a long way from when I was sleeping in my car. Granted, I do that still occasionally because it just saves money. But, you know, driving all night, sleeping in my car, and like had no credentials whatsoever. You know, I just got approved for this year's hard card with the NHRA. So they even let this shaded, bearded freak of a dude have a NHRA hard card to be able to go to Lucas Oil drag racing events and NHRA Camping World events and just pop up and pop in. You know, what are they thinking? But I would have loved to have seen it. I'm glad you got to see it. And, man, definitely make sure you stay tuned in and get some questions out there for Julie. Some of your observations, would love to have that included and in the discussion. And by the way, folks, I want to take your questions. I want to hear from you. You know, we're going to dive into drag racing news, and in a few moments, there's certainly things I want to hear from you on your thoughts. Like, I plan on going over the Drag Illustrated Awards. And, you know, I don't agree with everyone that got a win. So I wonder what your thoughts are. We'll go over that in a few moments. Quickly here, going bracket racing. Yo, MMR. Yo, GBR. George Casey, hope you're doing well. James, he writes in, what's up, MMR? Man, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well, James. With nostalgia racing being popular now, I dreamed one time there were 3 different types of nostalgia pro stocks, a 70s, 80s, and 90s division. And there could be such divisions within a nostalgia pro stock type ranks for sure, because, you know, it fascinates me. I feel like pro stock has lost its essence and of what it was meant to be. I do feel that. Though I love Pro Stock, and Pro Stock is extremely competitive. I think it is one of the best classes out there. Granted, it's not what it was designed to be, and I think that has to be admitted. But it has never stopped evolving from day one. And even Pro Stock coming on the scene was an evolution from like the Gasser days into a more homogeneous factory-backed type of racing and less modifications. But it has continued to evolve and evolve and evolve. Obviously, I think we're all excited about what Factory X is going to be in the NHRA. But yes, man, there certainly would be those type of divisions. Going bracket racing. They write in. Have you been keeping an eye on Sick Week? Answer is no. I have not. Not because I'm not interested. I love Drag and Drive, but I have been full blast. The off season for me has been a period of trying to make gains and losses. And what do I mean by that? Losses in the body weight department, because I've been overweight for too long. I'm still overweight, but I'm down a lot, been making progress. So that's taken time. And then gains, as far as monetary gains, you know, when I'm out there on the road and I'm getting a check from Chris Graves for Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos, hey, that's a check coming in. When I'm getting something for Competition Plus, that's a check coming in. When I'm getting something from Foley Lewis Racing or Buddy Hole Racing, that's something coming in. But during the off season, it's like no check season. And I picked up Uber, and I'm going to put a video out on why I did Uber and if I think it's actually effective. And it's a part of car culture. And even though I mainly talk about drag racing, Monday Morning Racer, I've always wanted it to be, well, car culture. Because if you look on the YouTube channel, you'll find autocross, you'll find dirt track racing, you'll find car shows, and a myriad of things within car culture. And it's fascinating in our day. You look at Uber, and what I don't know, let's say 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you would not have thought of a stranger getting in your car through an electronic means and taking them down the road. You would never have thought of that, but here we are, and you can make money from it. So I'm eventually going to put out a video why I started Uber and what it has been like. And yes, though I've only been doing it for about a month, I have stories. Oh, I have stories. Yes. Anyway, back to what Go and Bracket Racing has wrote in. Those guys need some props for our part longevity. They even turned them into mild tow vehicles for added stress. Look, dude, the drag and drive stuff is wild. I love it. Like it's hot rodding. It is hot rodding. Like it's modern day going back to what it was, and that's just cool to see. It's cool to see. Drag Racing Central. Get Chris Graves to make a pro stock case. Yeah. Oh, woo, man. Ooh, you got me there. Drag Racing Central. Make a pro stock chaos. Run what you brung. Natural aspirator with a clutch. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Or door slammer chaos. Granted, in some ways he already did that. One of the first events I think Chris ever did was Fuel Alters versus Pro Mods. That was a great event. That was a cool event. But I think there's plenty in the Chaos brand. The only thing that would need to be done with that, like the Mountain Motor Boys, I think they'll show up and race for something like that. But the 500 cubic inch guys, not all of them are going to do that. Some of them have, they got to, I don't know if they need to lower their standards or, don't think they're on a pedestal or what, but, they need to show up to some other races. They need to show up and do some other things other than the NHRA. That's why it was very cool to see Alan Prudensky and Kenny Delco at a PDRA event and running their 500 cubic inchers in Pro 632 in the PDRA. That was really cool because there's honestly not many places for the 500 cubic inch guys to go other than NHRA drag racing. But the PDRA, the rules there in Pro 632, they can do it. I think that's cool, and I would love to see that more often. The Mystic says, excuse me, MMR and live from the Nitro headquarters. Thumbs up. Thanks, man, for watching. Dan Jonas. Let's see what you've put in here. Pro stock is all cookie cutter cars. Yes, it is. There is too much restrictions. Where would Don Gartz have been if all the rails had been the same? Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, and pro stock, it is not where I think it was originally intended to be. That is true. I still love the racing. Yeah, that's something that fascinates me is I can disagree with where pro stock is and still enjoy how close it is and what it takes to drive those cars because they may very well be the most difficult cars out there to drive from a finesse and technical standpoint. But yes, I would love to see them reined in, if you will, back to their essence. And again, Factory X, I think that's what it's going to be. I think Factory X is going to be the future for door slammers in NHRA. We'll see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, dive into drag racing news. Got about 15 minutes until we have Julie Nataas on and chat with her. Oh, before we go to drag racing news, this weekend, I will be in Greensboro, North Carolina, and they're having the Shriners 20th anniversary Shriners Drag Racing and Hot Rod Expo, and that's going to be taking place at the Greensboro Coliseum. You've got the North Carolina Drag Racing Hall of Fame is going to be taking place there. We had that episode with Bobby Bennett just a couple of weeks ago going over these inductees and congratulating him on his award as well. But we're going to be there, going to get some content and just be on Outlook on the channel, Monday Morning Racer, the YouTube channel, for interviews and for photos and for videos from this event. Really, this kind of kicks off my drag racing year. It's about to ramp up for sure because it's going to be this event, a brief break, out to March meet, Gator Nationals, Funny Car Chaos, Phoenix, then back to Funny Car Chaos. It is going to be full blast here very soon. We're going to take a break. Right after the break, drag racing news. We'll go over what's going on in the world of drag racing, at least what I found interesting. Okay.
The drag racing life and the RV life seem to go hand in hand like nitromethane and superchargers. And when you are traveling through the Lone Star State and you're needing work done on your RV, well, DFW RV Center is your star to contact.
And today in drag racing news, no, we have not had any derailments. I know there has actually been. That's a whole other story. Here in Ohio. Bad deal for sure. But in drag racing news, we've got some great things to talk about. And first up, love what Josh Hart is doing. Going to be the first ever at his location, at least, and maybe really big in a big way associated with the Gator Nationals, but a fan fest presented by Bernie's, his speed shop, Josh Hart's speed shop. It's going to take place Wednesday, March 8th. So it's car show, food trucks. There's going to be giveaways. There's a 50-50 happening down there at Ocala, and going to be big names there like Big Daddy Don Garlitz, Frank Hawley. You've got Justin Ashley there, Cami Caruso, Antron Brown, Cruz Petragon, Spencer Massey, Mike Neff, more, I'm sure, to be announced. All 3 hours down there. And the NHRA, Gator Nationals winners and drivers, they're going to be autographing from 7 to 8. So if you're going to be in town for the Gator Nationals, maybe try to eke out another night and get to this event down at Bernie's. I want to go just to see Josh's shop. I've seen photos, and the way he talks about it, it certainly sounds impressive. And I want to see what he has got going on down there. And I'm going to speak with Josh. I want to reach out to him, but I plan on, I hope he will allow me, I think he will, stream from there and do a very similar type of show that I did from Cruz Petragon's open house right before the U.S. Nationals. So go live, talk to the drivers, talk to fans, show off some cars, and let that be between the slicks for that week, because usually I'm at the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame dinner. Graciously, Chip Lofton oftentimes provides me a ticket, and I'm able to go to that and enjoy it, and I've been able to do that for the last 3 years. And this is a big one coming up. I mean, Sean Ford, Shelly Anderson Payne, and many others being inducted into the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame. But obviously being there, no between the slicks. Granted, I might do some talking and chatting. Maybe we can go live from the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame before the ceremony, maybe after. Before it's probably better, and chat with some drag racing dignitaries and put that out on the Monday Morning Racer platform as well. Very quickly, I'll look at some comments. Destroy 1320, thanks for all the support. As he says, smash that like button, all right? And as we move along, I know many of you already know it. I'm going to say it again. It's been announced. It's kind of, again, another news blurb heard around the world in drag racing. Tony Stewart will compete full-time, as full-time can be, in the top alcohol dragster ranks in 2023 with McPhillips Racing. Mobile One will be on board backing him. And his first race of the year will actually be the Baby Gator. So it's not just NHRA national events, though there will be plenty of NHRA national events you will see him at. You will also see him at regional events. If you're going to do a full pull in top alcohol dragster, you got to take part in regionals. You got to take part in national events. So he will be up for a regional championship and a national championship. And I very well could see him bagging at least a NHRA regional championship, whichever region he is going to participate in. Because that wasn't clear yet. You got to get to the bottom of that. I imagine it's, as Bobby said, I have to agree, Bob Bennett, that it will be an East Coast division, that he will participate in. Destroy 1320, thank you for the $20 super chat. Yes, folks, you can put a super chat in. You can give a little bit to the cause of the Monday Morning Racer. Just put in a super chat. We'll definitely highlight that question or comment. and it helps myself out. It helps the channel out. Looking forward to the Arizona Nationals. Here is a snack fund donation. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you, Eric. Eric lives out there, Destroyer 1320 in the Phoenix area. Looking forward to seeing you, man. And by the way, folks, you need to check out what he's doing. He is getting closer and closer and closer to having products, the theft deterrent systems, the plates, not only for your Challenger, not only for your Ram, but also your Jeep Cherokee, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, Eric, Destroyer 1320, feel free, put in the comments section a link so people can see, excuse me, see what you are doing. Bear with me, folks. I'm still kind of getting over some sinus stuff, so maybe a little bit of coughing tonight, and I will try to manage the mic as best as I can. NHRA.tv has announced that Endeavor Streaming is right there behind my logo icon. They have made a partnership. They're revamping NHRA.tv, and they're attempting to make a better product for the fans and the consumers of NHRA drag racing, and in particular NHRA.tv. Hey, remember, just like I got the email earlier today, if you are a NHRA member, there is a discount code, and you should have got an email even today with your discount code, and that discount code goes to NHRA.tv, purchasing NHRA memorabilia, and you even get discounts on tickets, like 10-20% off sometimes. So if you are a NHRA member, you're getting your national Dragster and you're getting all those other perks, use those discount codes, okay? Save yourself some bucks for sure. Do that. But I'm looking forward to NHRA.tv being revamped, revitalized, becoming a better product. I honestly have never been impressed with it. So I very well may purchase it for the first time this year and just see what it is like and if it is better. Granted, from what I understand, most of your regionals this year are actually going to be live streamed on YouTube, which I think is a huge move and a plus. Now all we need is the NHRA to fork out some dollars or find some sponsorship and create a team that not only streams the regional events, but actually covers the regional events, so you get the stories that are happening along with those sportsman racers when they're at a Belrose, when they're at a Firebird, when they're at all these other tracks that are great tracks that host great regional events, but you don't often hear about them. That's my take, at least. Continuing in drag racing news, good news for the NHRA. SCAG Power Equipment becomes the official outdoor power equipment provider of the NHRA. Good news to hear that the NHRA is continuing to bring on more partners in official status. Oh, by the way, I was talking with Buddy Hull. Buddy Hull has a relationship with Tim Wilkerson, and we got this whole, Timmy the Tiger thing going on. I have got to use my connections with my mom in the grocery store world, and I'm hoping I can find a huge Tony the Tiger cardboard cutout, and I'm going to put Tim's face on it and put it next to his trailer and let people take photos with it. And you can take photos with Timmy the Tiger at NHRA national events. That's my plan, at least. So if you know where a Tony the Tiger cardboard cutout is, let me know. Give me the hookup. I want it. I want it. Moving right along, continuing NHRA news. I'm bringing this one up just because it looks so doggone good. The Bartone brothers, Sean Bellemere, they are going to be campaigning once again in 2023, and that hot rod looks good. Like that Jolly Roger look with the red and the white X behind it. That is a good-looking funny car. It screams funny car. They are always tough in competition. They narrowly missed out in 2022 for another championship, the 3-time championship team with that particular combination. So be on the lookout for the Jolly Roger. Well, flag riding high, no quarters for the rest of the field. I think that's what we're supposed to take from this funny car looking like this. Mick Steele has made the announcement that he's going to switch from an A-Fuel Dragster combination to an A-Fuel funny car. He's no stranger to funny car racing. He did a top alcohol funny car way back in like 96, for example. What I find interesting, if you're looking at this, well, this is definitely not an alcohol funny car body. This is like a full-fledged Big Show Nitro funny car body that he is going to run. It's actually a John Force John Force chassis as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Mick will do. And one of the reasons for that is like Nitro loves load. You know, like just adding weight to a Nitro car doesn't slow it down. It can actually have an adverse effect to what you want if you're just going to add weight. So they're going along with that thought instead of the Camaro body that is so popular out there, as you just saw with the Bartone brothers and their ride with Sean Bellemere at the wheel. Going to continue, and in drag racing news, Erica Enders has been announced by Drag Illustrated that she is the 2022 Racer of the Year, and I can certainly agree with that. What a dominating performance she had in NHRA Pro Stock. I think that is certainly a good pick. We're getting closer to having Julie on. She's actually in the green room, so I'm going to hold till we're done with Julie to talk about the other awards and like, hey, I don't think they got that one quite right. And, you know, why isn't this guy even nominated? And there's one guy that's not even on that list anywhere that I just blows my mind that he is not on there. Power Built Tools back with Camry Caruso. You're going to see them as a primary sponsor for select races in NHRA Camping World Pro Stock competition. In the world of funny car chaos, the Classic is coming up. You're going to see Buddy Hole in that ride as he makes his Funny Car Chaos debut in the Red Baron, a beautifully themed funny car that is a nitro burner. So right now, you can get your tickets. You can get your tickets to the Funny Car Chaos Classic at the Texas Motorplex coming up very, very soon, the very weekend after the Gator Nationals. In Nitro Chaos news, the Myers sisters. Well, I made a prediction and it has come true after Megan being at Nitro Chaos Mocan and winning, and I'm like, you know what? I bet someone's going to come and participate in a full whatever season it looks like of Nitro Chaos. And sure enough, Megan is going to participate in the first ever Nitro Chaos Championship season, a 4-race season each event. And Rachel is also going to compete in 2 driving, and then she's going to have crew chief duties at the other event. And the lady we got on the night, obviously a part of Randy Meyer Racing, she will be campaigning the funny car several times this year. Yeah, she's got a full schedule. We'll be talking about that in just a few moments. But Gunk will be the primary sponsor on the hot rods for Megan and Rachel. Definitely looking forward to having them a part of the Nitro Chaos season. And I think early on, Megan Meyer, there's your championship favorite. Definitely wonder who is going to step up and challenge her. Granted, there are big challengers. Like, what if Kevin Kinsley and Warwagon decide to make a full pull and do 4 races and go for a championship? The Warwagon, the world's fastest fuel alter, definitely can compete. What if Jody Austin decides to do the full pull? There's so many people burning nitro that could possibly be serious competitors. I'm looking forward to what is in store for Nitro Chaos this year. First event, Edgewater Motorsports Park in April. You need to get there, or as they love to say, you'll be square. You will be. So be there. All right, very quickly. Shorey 1320 says Jeep and Durango are out today. You all need to check that out. Alan, hope you're doing well. Good to have you along. Yes, Killer Bees. Liberty Noon Productions chimes in and says... Doug says, your boss, Bobby Bennett, is going to be at Belrose for the divisional race. Maybe he'll get a good interview with Julie. He needs to. Bobby needs to go by and definitely chat with her. Let's see. American Hot Rod Entertainment, March Meet, 14 days away. Yes, March Meet is 14 days away. I plan on being there 65th, right? Right there in 65th anniversary, and the biggest purse yet of its history. That looks great. Carrie Rosa looks like a great year of racing, man. Like when did we have a better year? Like, man, this is going to be a great year in drag racing. It is going to be awesome. And American Hot Rod Entertainment says, imagine Tyler Hilton in the Great Expectations Top Fuel Dragster lining up against Megan Meyer at Nitro Chaos. Yes, I know. And it can happen only where? In the playground of the mad scientist Chris Graves and what he has created. I mean, guys, look, when first Nitro Chaos was ever announced, I was like, yes, the drag racing dream has come true. where all these nitro burners can come together and race each other. At the time, I had never been to Iowa. I had never been to Eddyville Raceway Park. And it was just after like COVID. I fly out there one way in an Uber, not knowing how to get back because you're in little Oskaloosa. There's no Uber out there. And I'm like, yep, I'm here for a drag race because it's like dream come true. And I actually got a ride from the owner of the motel to get back to the Des Moines airport. That worked out pretty good. So thank God. But I went out there, didn't know how I was going to get back. Didn't have a clue. It might have been Greyhound for all I know. But I knew I was at a drag race of drag races. Hey, speaking of drag racers, I think our next guest is one of those. That's Julie Nataas. We're going to take a break. Right after the break, we got Miss Julie on. We're going to chat with her on what? Drag racing.
If you own a beautiful modern muscle car like this 1320 Challenger, I'm sure you don't want it stolen. Because the Challenger and many other modern vehicles have an easily accessible neutral release strap. That was your coin holder in your central console, and beneath that there's this red cord that someone can pop, put it in the neutral, and potentially easily steal your car. But at destroyer1320.com, they have the TDS, Theft Deterrent System, which is a cover over that strap using factory mounting points so that you don't get popped by a thief. So make sure to go to destroyer1320.com using promo code MMR for 15% off and get your Theft Deterrent System TDS and steal the thieves' hope.
Julie, welcome
Hi.
to Between the Slicks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on the show.
I appreciate your time. Good to have the ladies on, and you know, I'm definitely a fan of you and Ida Zetterstrom, and I like you chicks from Europe. That's pretty cool what y'all are doing and really getting it done. So, and look, I'm even more of a fan now because you are. I did some research, but then like, you know, you're doing the funny car thing now, and you do the fuel dragster thing, and like multi-diverse and talented. And it's not like these drivers who are just like one car. I'm like, okay, cool, great. But the ones that are multifaceted is just cool. So we'll start there.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Why step into something else? Like, you know, you're winning in the A-Fuel thing and you're doing good there. Why a funny car?
Well, I have for a while, I'd say years, been wanting to drive a funny car. My dad never allowed me to, so he allowed me, like, I wanted to do pro mods because that's what my dad did when I was growing up before he started racing top fuel dragsters and cars. So I wanted a door car, maybe instead of having a super comp dragster when I was younger. So eventually he let me license in a door car, and I don't think he was expecting me to love it as much as I did. And just ever since, I've been wanting to get in a funny car. So here we are.
All right. Interesting that Dad wouldn't allow you. It seems like that's a common theme. Like Camry is not allowed, you know, Camry Caruso is not allowed to do Pro Mod by Mark Caruso, and you weren't allowed to do funny car. But yeah, Dad's over there and you're over here.
I mean, funny thing though, like he's always been like, no, you're so much safer in a dragster. And one day, a couple years ago, I was asked to drive a nitro funny car. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to tell my dad. I'm just going to say, hey, I said yes to drive a nitro funny car. And if it's happening, it's happening. Like, you're just going to have to be on board with this. And he calls me the next day because obviously the time difference. And he goes, you know what, Julie? The funny cars, they're actually kind of cute. And I was like, wait, you went from like, no, that's like a freaking monster to drive compared to the dragster. Now the funny car is kind of cute. Okay, I'm here for it. But yeah, he has no doubt that I wouldn't be able to drive a funny car. He's just been more comfortable with me in the dragster until now, and now he's all for it. He is.
Hey, well, look, after like what was it, qualifying at Indy? Like maybe the dragster isn't that safe with stuff coming in the cockpit and
probably won't be going airborne in a funny car, right?
right.
For example,
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Oh, when you look after that event, mentioning that, let's briefly talk about it. The the car just imploding, and like when
Yeah.
you look back on it, was there any injury to you? Like did the suit get tore or rip at all, or was it just stuff got in and it's like, oh, shocking?
No, I was fine. There was some scratches on my helmet and my visor, but other than that, I was fine. The car was hurt, obviously, but no, it was just a car. I couldn't see anything because I had the body literally in front of my helmet, but yeah, it was fine.
Okay, cool. Well, glad it was. Just I've always wondered when the NHRA is going to. You got an option right now with Top Fuel, like you can do the canopy or you can do open cockpit. And I've always
Right.
felt that the windscreen and open cockpit, that it's, I wonder when they're going to try to strengthen it, even if it is open cockpit. So
Yeah.
nothing if can come in as a projectile like IndyCar and F1 has done. I think they need to look into that. That's my opinion though. But they're not asking me
I
for
don't know.
anything. So, there you go. On the funny car, this
Yeah.
machine for Randy Meyer Racing at the Funny Car Chaos Classic last year, it didn't go nowhere.
Oh no, we were so disappointed. I don't think I've ever seen Randy so frustrated like ever before. And I've seen him frustrated before, but I was trying to make it down the track that weekend. It was literally impossible. So yeah.
Yeah, did not go as y'all had planned, but here recently, Houston, you've earned a license. It went down the track, apparently went down the track swimmingly well. One, were they quarter mile pulls? What did it look like in the 8th mile? Because that's obviously Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos, and I'm trying to figure out how to shape y'all up for upcoming competition. But yeah, how did it feel to finally make some full pulls in this thing?
It was pretty cool. Really awesome. I love the funny car. I don't think I expected it to actually make it up the starting line the first run. So Randy told me that I could drive it until I felt like lifting. But once it actually made it off the starting line, I was like, maybe Randy didn't really mean that. So maybe I should just lift, like just to be sure. So I lifted at the 330 mark. So nothing major out of that run. Second run, we ran a 560 where I lifted at 1,000-foot mark and a 562 in that last run. So it's going. We're getting somewhere. We're getting some data that we really needed. So I think Funny Car Chaos is going to be a lot of fun this year.
Well, we're looking forward to having you a part of it. And you got your dose of chaos at the Funny Car Classic and then also Nitro Chaos. Definitely a different brand in drag racing. And you've experienced a lot from Europe to NHRA, whether it's regional or national. What do you think of the chaos world and what Chris Graves has got going on?
When I went to that first Funny Car Chaos last year, I loved it. I loved everything about seeing all the different types of funny cars, the crews, the teams, everything. It was awesome. So yeah, I'm here for it for sure.
The Dragster, obviously, you sit in front of the engine.
Yep.
The Funny Car, you sit obviously behind the engine. The phenomena of clutch dust in your face, is it as much as it appears on camera? Do you really notice it? Is it drastically different? And is it something that, oh, wow, that's like, it's in my mouth afterwards?
It's definitely different. Now I can see everything that's going on in front of me. I can see the crew guys. I can see what they're doing before I take off. And there was definitely a lot of clutch dust. It's definitely something that we can get rid of. Like, we're still trying to figure this thing out. And I know that the clutch dust, I had way too much coming inside the car. So we're going to try to make that a little bit better. But yeah, I had clutch dust in my ears, up my nose, like felt like I had it in my lungs. Like, there was clutch dust everywhere, pretty much.
Yeah, it's kind of like sand, just gets everywhere.
Yeah, it does. It's just, yeah. But I was like, this is probably normal. I'm probably just gonna have to get used to it until someone was like, it was actually my dad. He goes, I think you have a little bit too much of clutch dust in there. Do you have something so that it's not all going inside the cockpit? And we're like, oh yeah, sure. We're gonna figure that out.
Yeah.
So that's how new we're all new to this funny car thing.
And it's definitely cool that the NHRA has made the move. I love that Randy's made this addition to the team and that you're a part of it and can like do it, whether it's NHRA or Funny Car Chaos, it's definitely cool to see. And the A fuel combination in Funny Car, everybody is like, oh, it's new. No, it's like one of the oldest combinations. Injected nitro has been around way back. My dad with Gene Cromer were campaigning an injected nitro Funny Car back in the late 60s. So it's nothing new, but it's cool that it's having this revival, and it's cool that it's happening with people like you associated with it, because you've got good branding, you've got good marketing, you've got good social media, you've got a good persona and character to you, and adding a Funny Car to it is, well, just dang cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And now that it's actually going down the racetrack too, maybe I'll find some sponsors.
Bring that up. Like, what is the plan to, like, y'all going to keep it as the Gray Ghost for however long, or what's the plan?
No, we're gonna paint it. We're gonna try to find a nickname to it. We haven't really decided yet, but we're gonna paint it. But it's gonna be gray for that first one in Dallas for sure. But
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna paint it.
Cool.
We just wanted to make sure that we're not hitting any walls while I'm getting my license before we painted it. So
right, that's smart. That's smart. Well, I like,
yeah.
You came out last year, didn't go nowhere. Keep the primer, go out and do something, and be like Primer Revival or something. Get it going. I like that. And with that program, I know Randy has mentioned, or at least he mentioned to me, he even mentioned an altered trim with that car. And is anyone else interested in the ride, or is it like just you?
Right now it's just me. I know he's talked about different things. Maybe he will do them, maybe he's not. I don't really know. Right now we're just trying to figure things out as it is in the car with me in it. So yeah.
All right, 2023. You're gonna be busy, gal. I mean, you've got the Funny Car Chaos stuff. You've got, and I assume also it's Nitro Chaos, not just Funny Car Chaos on some of the select events, and then a full gamut in the A Field Dragster running for a national championship. So, I mean, what, 20, 21 races at least, roughly?
Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know if it's 22 or 23 races, or it's something like that. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to all the Funny Car races, because we're only going to the ones that doesn't overlap with the NHRA races, because that's like our main focus. So it'll be interesting. There's not going to be a lot of off weekends this year.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not mad about it.
No, I wouldn't be either. You keep racing, keep doing, and you're obviously passionate about racing, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment, because I found it fascinating. You've done more than drag racing. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Right. Your partners, OTG. What the heck is it?
So it's a flooring construction company out of Norway, like the town that I'm from. So yeah, it's Oslo Tapete Gullbelegg. That's what it's called in Norwegian.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, not me.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever been able to pronounce that. So we just say OTG. Way easier.
Okay, great. And obviously, right, trailers, Lucas Oil, and NGK. The slowdown all the way down there toward the tip. What's that program?
It's an awareness thing that we're doing this year, and we're gonna do a full announcement on that before Pomona, because my car will not be wrapped until the weekend before Pomona, because we're still waiting for a new body after our little incident in Indy last year. So we've decided to wait to wrap it, and then we're gonna bring on this slow down move over, just to like make people aware of like truck drivers and people getting killed in traffic every day because of that. So it's not a sponsor, it's just something that we want to bring to light, if that makes sense.
No, it does, and that's a serious problem. I mean, I live minutes away from I-85, and I joke all the time, that's Death Race 2000 out there.
Right.
Wake up every morning and WYFF News 4 is, well, there's a wreck on I-85 and all lanes are shut down. And it's common. It's like every day.
Yeah.
And
it is
definitely more awareness. And I think racing can be a great platform for that awareness. of driving right,
Yes,
driving
yeah.
smart, and what you're saying. So, look, thanks for letting that be a part of your program. That's very cool.
Yep, it is. I think so.
Now, what you've got y'all were at Nitro Chaos,
Yes.
and that atmosphere, I'm sure, was different. Y'all are used to going to small tracks when you go to a regional. That's not
Yep.
uncommon, but I believe you remarked, I know Megan remarked that you all definitely felt like the stars of the show at a small track like that, and people coming by and chatting and the crowd that was there. What do you
The
think could be
crowd
done for
done at
NHRA?
a regional.
Yeah, at a regional. What do you think could be done? How to get that atmosphere there? Because I've gone to regionals, I've covered regionals. There's great drag racing happening at them, but they're completely overshadowed by the national events.
For sure. I feel like the Nitro Chaos races are just, they overhype it, which is a good thing because there's a lot of things to be hyped about, like all the different cars, the drivers, all that kind of stuff. For a regional race, I don't really see much of a marketing going on for, oh yeah, we got a regional race here and here this weekend and this is happening. It's none of that. It's just, it's a divisional race that's going on, and yeah, that's it. So here, people at Nitro Chaos were actually like really excited, had seen it coming into town for a couple of weeks before we even got there. They were just pumped. Like the people that come to the regional races are hardcore NHRA fans because they know that it's happening. But I haven't seen any new fans coming into the regional races. So it's interesting.
Okay. Yes. Definitely think there could be more marketing out there. And I think it's a great way for new fans to be introduced because of the access. There's a little bit more access, even beyond the national event, because things are laid back in the way regionals are. So I think there's still something on the table there for sure. Still something on the table there. Speaking of marketing, it's my understanding that you do have a degree in business, and you're not just a drag racer. Granted, though you are, but you got some smarts behind you as well. You've went out there, you've earned a degree, and can put that to good use. And you got a good following on Instagram. You got a good following on Facebook. I am curious though, your YouTube channel. Didn't see too many uploads last year. Are we gonna see you get back to that and start putting some more content out, because you were doing a good job of kind of revealing the race weekend for the A Fuel competitor.
So I absolutely love filming and doing all the vlog styles that I'm doing for YouTube, but I never saw a lot of like reach coming back to me from me posting that, and it took me forever to edit the vlogs. Like I would be sitting between the races like 10 hours because I'm not really good at editing stuff. Like I would just figure it out, but it would take me like 10 hours to edit one video, and then filming myself every now and then is just a little awkward, so it always helps to have someone with me. But absolutely, I can definitely do that again because again, I love doing it, but it's just a lot of work compared to what I've seen want for, if that makes sense. And I feel like I see a lot of the vlog styles coming more into reels on Instagram and on TikTok instead of on YouTube.
YouTube is a tough world. It is.
It is. Yeah. So I feel like if I was going to get subscribers on YouTube, I would have to get them because they're following me on TikTok or Instagram, and not a lot of them were coming to my YouTube for that because they got a shorter version from it on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah, transfer is hard for sure to have them gravitate to something else that's longer form content. And yeah, I tell you what, if you definitely do some Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos ones, I know Chris Graves, myself, we can definitely help share those links, get those out there, and see what can happen for Julie Nataas's YouTube channel out there. We can definitely do that.
So maybe I'll do vlogs from those races. Make it like a special like Funny Car Chaos and Nitro Chaos Funny Car on my YouTube channel.
Do it. You get shares. Don't you worry.
All right.
So Drag Racing Central's got a question that I'm sure many people are wondering. Is there a plan to eventually make the step to Top Fuel or Funny Car, as in Nitro Funny Car? What's out there for Julie Nataas?
That's my dream and my goal, to drive a Nitro Funny Car or Top Fuel Dragster. So definitely, I am looking for sponsorships for that, and it's a lot more than what I am dealing with right now. So I just haven't been able to get there yet, but I will.
All right, boom, there it is. Plans.
Yep.
We'll see it one day. We will definitely
Yep.
see it one day. Now, I know home for you is Norway, but like you don't spend most of your time there anymore. It's Southern California for the last 5-7 years, right?
Yeah, well, now I've been in Indy the last 2
Okay.
years, and before that I was in California for 5 years. So yeah.
All
I
right,
usually only go to Norway like once or twice a year to visit family.
Oh
and
wow,
friends.
not a lot. Okay.
No,
So
yeah, I'm here full time.
with that being said, so I live in South Carolina, born and raised in the Southeast. I moved to New York for a while, and you always have those things that you hanker for, you desire, that are from home. So being
Yep.
over here stateside, what are some things that you miss about home, whether it's food or it's a particular store, and what type of store? What's up on the list of man, I wish I could put that in Brownsburg.
I would love to have my sour candy from Norway, and I miss the beaches. Like in Norway, we're 5 minutes away from the beach and all the mountains, so that's definitely not something that we have in Indy. Like I'm looking outside and there's cornfields.
Yep.
But I'm okay with it. It's still fine. I still like it here, but that's definitely what I would miss about home.
Now, I know y'all were a traveling group with your family and were not unaccustomed to the American culture, but you get over here, you start living here. What were some things that took a while for you to get accustomed to? What was some shock to you in American culture?
I don't know if I had a lot of shocks. Like again, you said we travel a lot. And we would go to California maybe like once or twice a year since I was a little kid. So I don't think there was anything that was like a shock, just something that I learned my way through the years as a kid coming here on vacation. So yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Okay, no, cool. You were
Yeah.
accustomed to it, and it was an easy transition.
Mhm.
Very cool. Well, where is somewhere that you did have a shock though in your travels? Because you're better traveled than probably most of the people watching right now. So where's somewhere you have gone and you're like, oh wow, that's happening here?
Well, I might not be a fan of Louisiana or
Doug,
Iowa.
cover your ears, Doug.
But I don't know if that's just me having a bad experience going there. Also, remember, I've been going to Louisiana just to go to Belrose. So I've been flying in and then just literally straight out flying out. Well, here's one of the shocks, I guess, because the first time I pulled into the racetrack, and I think this was in Oklahoma, we're going to park the rig and everything. It was my first race, Noble, Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong and someone finds out. But and the guy goes, oh yeah, I'll park. You can park over here. And if something is ever wrong over the weekend, I have my gun, so just call me. I'm like, you have your gun? Like, wait, what? Like, I know that Americans keep their guns, but just call me because I have a gun. Like, I'm definitely not used to that. We don't carry guns in Norway. So I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of those.
Yeah, and look, in Oklahoma, everybody's armed.
Yes, I've learned that. I know most people are at this point, but
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I'm not shocked to hear that a shock could be the firearm tradition from other cultures to hear. Having the Second Amendment, firearms are big here, whether it's for sportsman use or personal or even nefarious and not good uses. It's a big deal. So yeah, I could see that being on top of the list for sure. Now, your background, obviously, your dad is a big name in European drag racing, accomplished a lot, Pro Mod, Top Fuel. I mean, I imagine his name dropped over there and people, it's like saying like Antron Brown or someone. It's a big name, very big name.
Yeah.
And you probably had almost no choice but be in the drag racing and, compete. And something I've noticed, though, because I went and got some photos. So
Yes.
I assume this is you and your brother, Junior Dragsters.
Yep, that's right.
And here's another shot. Well, I'm going to continue. Like, okay, here's the Super Comp Dragster.
Yep.
Okay. It's like a Batman logo, but it's not quite Batman. What's going on?
So the story behind the Batman logo is whenever my dad first bought his Pro Mod car years and years ago, one of his friends came into the shop and saw the car, and it was literally just all black. And my dad was like, I don't know what we're going to do with it, what we're going to put on it. And this friend, he goes, well, it kind of looked like a Batmobile. So there you go. And after that, my dad just put a sticker of Batman on the side of the car. And it's been like that ever since.
I like it. Run with something and stick with it. Very cool. Very cool. Well, are we missing it on your car now? I haven't seen it. Is it
Probably? Yes, I put it on the car. I do have a missing, whenever my body exploded with the Batman on it.
Uh-oh. Hey guys, look in the background. There's a check. There's a Jegs check. Look in the background. Oh, there it is. There it is.
There you go. Yeah. Yep. So it's very small, but it's on the car. We got sponsors on my car now instead of Batman stickers. So yeah.
Very cool. But there it is. Okay, great. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, that's a great piece to have in your collection, by the way, hanging up on the walls. That's good.
Right.
Like
I have to bring it home.
Look, funny car racers are used to destroying their bodies, but you did it in an A-Fuel Dragster. Congratulations, girl.
Thank you. Definitely not normal.
Definitely not.
It's my first body. Yeah.
Right. Well, also not normal for A-Fuel Dragster competitors, and I definitely want to dive into this before we let you go, is you have experience in one of these, a Formula car. Like, that's way cool.
Yeah, I would say, I started go-karting before I started racing the Formula cars, but yeah, I did that for a couple years while I was still actually racing Super Comp and go-karts. So, my summers, they were never boring as a kid. We didn't have a lot of drag racing races to go to all the time, so we started go-karting during the week after school and race go-karts races on the weekends, and eventually started upgrading to a Formula car. So yeah, it's been a lot.
What did you learn from it that might have transpired to drag racing? Obviously car control, tire management, and then you put it in the drag racing and you're only doing it for maybe a minute and a half tops, if everything is right. So did you get anything out of it, or was it just a completely different world and nothing transferred?
No, I think that's definitely helped me be the driver that I am today. Like everything that I did in go-karts and learning how to control them and everything that was happening in those cars is definitely helping me in drag racing. Like, yes, they're not the same type of car, but when something is happening, I'm familiar with it because I've been dealing with going rounds at a racetrack in the rain, like literally pouring down rain on slicks that are, they don't want to stick to the track. So I feel like it's just made me a better driver. And that was my dad's goal too. He was like, he wanted me and my brother to be like the best drivers we could be, both on the racetrack and off the racetrack. So that's kind of why we started go-karting. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure this year, obviously, the goal is win the national championship. Like, duh.
Yes.
That's the goal. There shouldn't be any other goal. But win every race, win the national championship. And I would imagine that would automatically make you win your regional, division or regional championship as well. So that's obviously a goal for you there this year. You've mentioned getting in a top field dragster or in a nitro funny car. I'm curious, is there any aspirations to go and do it all in Europe and win championships there and follow in some footsteps of Dad, like very closely?
No, there's not. You can't compare European drag racing to what I am doing right now. I think, yes, it's cool over in Europe, but it's a hobby for everyone, and I'm not interested in this being a hobby. And I want to go out there racing in the best car there ever is and be the best driver. So I have to be here. In Europe, that's not going to do it. And my dad knows that too. Like he traveled over here and raced Top Fuel here for a couple times because he wanted to do this. He wanted to race in NHRA, but never did, other than like a couple of races, but nothing like I've ever done so far. So, yeah.
All right. Well, there it is. Wow. I resolute to do it and get it done here. That is some gumption and very cool from you. And by the way, folks, like the email, like when you get her email from her and it's signed at the bottom, it's NHRA drag racing. Like she means it. She's serious about it.
I am. That is my job. I don't do anything else. Pretty much. Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, keep plowing the craft and get it done. And you're certainly doing that. Julie, look, I hope all the success for you in 2023. Look forward to seeing you and interviewing you at the track, whether it's Nitro Chaos or Funny Car Chaos or NHRA event. And a couple more questions. Drag Racing Central wants to know, for everybody out there, he says not drag racing related, but who is y'all's pick to win the Daytona 500 this Sunday? So you have any interest in NASCAR? You watch it? Can you make a pick?
I was going to say, I don't even know who's racing. I follow, what's his name? Dylan?
Austin Dillon.
Yeah, I follow his wife on Instagram. That's all I know about NASCAR.
Okay.
I know.
Which is cool.
Terrible, but I'm not interested.
Hey, no, it's not terrible.
Like Indy cars, but
it's not terrible because the email is signed NHRA Drag Racer. It's not NHRA Drag Racer / NASCAR follower too. So that's cool. Yes. That is cool. DRC, I am going to go with Chase Elliott. I'm going to go with Chase Elliott. He's going to get the Daytona 500. Dujnay says Bubba Wallace. Hey, it's always a crapshoot in the restrictor play or tapered spacer racers as well. So now, as we wrap it up, just give you the floor. Who do you need to say thank you to? You can say thank you to them, and then to all your competitors out there, what does Julie Nataas got to say to them for 2023?
Oh, we're ready. That's all I have to say. After testing in Houston, I feel like we're ready. And last year might not have been our greatest year, but I think we're all ready to go and show what we really can do. So yeah, that's it.
All right. I like the confidence. I like it. Well, Julie, look, thank you.
Have the confidence.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Good chatting with you. Again, look forward to seeing you at the track. Very quickly before we do later, where can everybody follow you? I know Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, but those names and those handles. So how can they follow you?
Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. They're all Julie Nataas, like my first and last name. And on Facebook, it's Julie Nataas Racing. So it's pretty easy. Literally just my name. So, yeah.
All right. Very cool. Julie, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good night.
Good night.
Power-Built Tools exemplifies innovation in the tool industry. From hand tools, power tools, and even tool storage. Check out powerbuilt.com for Power-Built Tools. And remember, use promo code MMR15 for 15% off at purchase.
Folks, look, definitely use the promo codes here on and from the Monday Morning Racer platform. Look, 15% off. That at least knocks off shipping and just a little bit. It helps out. Power Built tools, great tools. Like they used to have the Snap-on contract. Like Snap-on actually used to be made by them back in the day. So great tools. They are professional tools. They got a lot of innovative tools. Go check them out. Use the promo code for Destroyer1320. Get your TDS plate if it is applicable to your ride. And also remember, there is a promo code for Gearhead Coffee. Great coffee that is stylized for you, the motorhead, the gearhead, the race head. And you can get 10% off with MMR10. Great to have Julie Nataas on the show. First ever appearance for her here on Between the Slicks. And what a fascinating individual within NHRA drag racing. And I love her resolve. It's like, nope, I want to do it here in the United States. Yes, I will get the top fuel. I will get the funny car. Just, you can tell a driven young lady that has got the total package. She's got the drive. She's got the look. She's got the smarts. She's got the team. It's all there. And definitely, I think we all expect who are watching that she is going to continue to be successful, and we're going to see success in that funny car. I expect her to go rounds, if not even win this year in that funny car eventually. She made it to the final round in Nitro Chaos with her A-Field Dragster there at Mocan and lost to her teammate, Megan Meyer. She was number one qualifier at that event, so they can definitely get it done, that team and her as a driver. In doing some research for the show, I was just impressed that she has a more diverse portfolio than most drag racers. And I like drag racers. I like racers, period, that have a diverse portfolio. I think that is so cool. I am a fan of the motorsportists, if you will. Very quickly, I'm not done yet. I want to go back to drag racing news and kind of my burned down opinionated segment. So, excuse me, bear with me. Erica Enders, she earns the Drag Illustrated Awards, the DI Awards, the 2022 Racer of the Year. And with her dominating season, I agree, hands down. I can't disagree with that. Just stellar dominating season. Watch out for not so nice Erica. Yeah, just don't do that. But I don't agree with every pick. I'm going to go over the picks. So, Racer of the Year, Erica Enders. Some of the nominees were Brittany Force, Matt Smith, Jim Halsey, Ryan Martin, Todd Tutterow. They all had phenomenal seasons. I think Matt Smith might be the one that is the most challenging to Erica Enders, but I believe Erica Enders is the right one. A Sportman Racer of the Year, Pete D'Angelo. Nominees were also Jimmy Hidalgo Jr., Joe Roebuck, Gage Birch, Bo Butner, and Matt Dattis. I think I'm saying that right. Outlaw Racer of the Year, Manny Bagina. I've got to agree with that. Manny, I just would regularly hear that name over the year, that he was winning and doing well. Something about this list, though, that does tick me off a little bit. And yes, I'm biased. I get it. I admit it. I'm the Funny Car Chaos pit reporter. I'm the Nitro Chaos pit reporter. I get it. I'm biased. I realize that. You might not have any other show say it, but I'm going to say it here, right here on Between the Slicks. In all of the outlaw stuff, and in one category coming up, where's Funny Car Chaos? There's not a nomination. I mean, isn't Funny Car Chaos outlaw? Like it's the world's only outlaw funny car series? Like, that's not on here. You can't mention Kirk Williams and the dominating season he had. I move on. Breakout Racer of the Year, Justin Ashley. I love Justin Ashley. Could call him up, talk to him. Great guy. I don't agree with him being the pick, though, because I think he already has had a breakout Racer of the Year type season. Great season this year, but I expected him to have a great season, and not in the sense of it being a breakout type of season. Being breakout, I think of like his rookie year or last year. I mean, when I think breakout, I think of someone I'm not expecting. That's my opinion. The nominees were Amber Franklin, Joey Gladstone, Troy Coughlin Jr., Kayla Morton, and Dallas Buchanan. I think if of this right here, in this list, I think it's Joey Gladstone. That would be mine. Or Amber Franklin. I think I would have gone with those. Pass of the year, Lariat McBride's 268.30 mile per hour in top fuel motorcycle. Yeah, duh. Nobody can touch that. Like, just there shouldn't even be any other nominees. I mean, I know you got to do that because it's an award thing, and you got to have all, but yeah, pass of the year, certainly Larry McBride, Spider-Man. Race of the year, Sick Week. Sick Week was a big deal last year, and I love what Tom Bailey's doing and Drag and Drive. It's on the rise. It's such a cool thing. I caught Hot Rod Drag Week last year, and Drag and Drive is just cool. If you have not experienced a Drag and Drive yet, you have got to experience Drag and Drive. It's a whole lot of fun, and it's like really hot rodding and truly drag racing. And I mean, I hate to say it that way because drag racing is drag racing no matter what type of drag racing it is, but this like gets back to the roots of car culture and hot rodding and what drag racing was to some extent. So it's very cool. I agree with Sick Week. Crew of the year, Jim Halsey's Pro Nitrous team. Hey, him and Switzer Dynamics and everybody, I can agree with that. Nominees were YO Motorsports, Elite Motorsports, Melanie Salemi Motorsports, Ron Capps Motorsports, and McPhillips Family Racing. A good list there. But again, what about Kirk Williams? What about Williams Brothers Racing and what they did in Funny Car Chaos? Okay. Hey. Tuner of the year, Jamie Miller. Nominees were also Todd Tutterow, David Grubnett, Mark Ingersoll, Steve Petty, and Brandon Switzer. Special award for Ambassador to the Sport of Drag Racing. The winner is Tony Stewart. Nominees, Antron Brown, John Sears, Joe Costello, Elin Warner, and Courtney Enders. I think that's a great list. And Tony has done a lot, for drag racing here in a short time frame. I think I would have went Antron on that, though. Antron has been an ambassador for the sport for a long time, and this man went to Washington on the behalf of drag racing and the RPM Act. I think I would have went with Antron on that. It's kind of hard to top going to Washington, I feel. Promoter of the year, Jason and Chris Miller. Now, I don't want to disagree with the pick. And the nominee list is great. The nominees are Victor Alvarez, Bill Bader Jr., Donald Long, Tyler Crossnow, Tom Bailey. This is the second year that Chris Graves is not even on this list nominated. I just don't get it. He's got an Outlaw Funny Car Series, only one like it, championship points fund with money, growing, increasing the purse, and now he's about to do Nitro Chaos, and it'd be a championship series. And it's the only all Nitro run what you brung type of series out there, and he can't be on this list? Come on. Like, put an asterisk, right now. Chris Graves should be on this list. Come on. Drag Illustrated, if Chris Graves is not on the nominee list for Promoter of the Year in 2023, it's a sham. Gosh. Track of the Year, Braden and Motorsports Park. I agree. Hey, big upgrades there. They're doing big events. I agree with that. Maple Grove is on the list. Texas Motorplex, Summit Motorsports Park, Virginia Motorsports Park, Extreme Raceway Park. A lot of national event tracks, but Braden got the win, and Extreme Raceway Park was also on there. Moment of the year, Ron Capps Championship Run. I think that's a good pick. I think that's a good choice. Greg Anderson's 100th was on there. Antron Brown wins the Pro 275. Bob Locke wins the NHRA Finals and Super Gas Championship. Rivalry of the year, Ryan Martin versus Kyle Kelly. Even though I don't follow that in drag racing that much, not that I don't like it, it's just my time and elsewhere, it's hard to follow everything. Drag racing being as diverse as it is, and which is great. But yeah, I agree with that. I kept hearing them regularly. They'd also had his nominees, Robert Height, Matt Hagan, Ron Capps, Lyle Barnett versus J.R. Gray. That was a good one on the internet, but I don't know about on the track. Matt Smith versus Joey Gladstone. That was pretty good. Elite Motorsports versus KB Racing. Well, that could be picked almost any year. Todd Tutterow versus Melanie Salemi. That was a good battle in the PDRA. Influencer of the Year, Alex Taylor. She does a good job out there in social media. Motor Trend, Hot Rod. I agree with this pick. She is doing a lot. She can drive. She knows her stuff. She is a good-looking gal, and she carries herself well. And she's easy to talk and communicate with as well. I interviewed her at Hot Rod Drag Week. But yeah, the nominees were Clay Milliken, Garrett, Cletus McFarland, Mitchell, Alex Laughlin, and Chris Boosted Hamilton. So, okay, but can we not get some funny car chaos? Chris Gray's love in there. I mean, just saying. Just saying. Okay. So, Duchesne, 55 9-round win-loss record. Eric, yep, right. Mark, 5-time champion, can't go wrong. Yep, right, can't. And won 4 out of 6 races to play. Right, yep, can't go wrong. I mean, yep. Yeah, I don't agree with that either. He already had that. I don't know exactly which one I'm referring to now. But yeah, I think this list, it might have been Ashley. Okay. It was already there. Drag Racing Central 2021, Ashley. Yeah, right. I'm not saying he's not deserving. I already expected it. And I expect him, like, if Justin Ashley wins the 2023 championship, that Davis Motorsports, Justin Ashley Racing, Phillips Connect Top Fuel Dragster, I wouldn't be shocked. Be happy, but I wouldn't be shocked. DRC says Kayla Morton. Duchesne says should have been Joey Gladstone. Yeah, Mark, Joey can ride. I agree. He certainly can. DRC. Indy was easily the race to be at last year. It was good. That's a good point. Grubby should have won Tuner of the Year. I can see that. That might be a little bit NHRA-centric, though, but I can certainly see that, especially with now. I mean, it wasn't all done this year, but with Brittany having, like, the top 15 of every ET and mile per hour is just absolutely insane. So, but yeah. No love for Funny Car Chaos or Chris Graves. I don't get it. I don't get it. But right here at Between the Slicks, even though I'm a bit biased, we do love Funny Car Chaos, Chris Graves, Nitro Chaos, NHRA as well, PDRA, Midwest Drag Racing Series, Northeast Outlaw Pro Mod Association, and on and on and on, because it's all good. Hey, if you happen to be near Greensboro, North Carolina, ride up Friday, Saturday, and take part and enjoy in the 20th anniversary of the Shriners Drag Racing and Hot Rod Expo at the Greensboro Coliseum. Look, it's only like $15 to get in on both days. That's not bad. Come on out and enjoy a great car show and swap meet and see stars and cars of drag racing. And if you see me there, hey, holler at me. Would love to talk with you. That's where I'll be this weekend. To each and every one of you that have been watching, thank you. Hit the like button for me. Hit the share button. We'll be right back here next Thursday. That's the plan, I think. And do it all again and talk to someone in drag racing and share drag racing news right here on Between the Slicks on the Monday Morning Racer platform. Wesley, hey, no mention of us Outlaw Fuel Altered guys either. Yeah, hey, I know. You altered guys, I mean, y'all are altered. Just saying. No, definitely. That could be mentioned as well. And I get it. Drag racing, it's so diverse. It's hard to cover everything. But there are things on that list, especially with what Chris Graves has been doing. I'm like, second year? Come on. Yeah. Okay. Libby Noon Productions. Great show tonight, MMR. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. To all of you out there, thank you for watching. We're going to hit the end commercial, close out the show. Hero Soap Company. Soap company, all natural, made by veterans, supporting veterans. Proceeds go to veteran charities. You can also help the channel here. Use the promo code. Get yourself some great soap. Let freedom clean. Good night. God bless, and keep the pedal to the metal.
Hero Soap Company is a veteran-owned establishment that produces all-natural, essential oils-infused soap that is sold with a portion of the proceeds supporting other veteran groups. Hero Soap Company. Heroes supporting heroes. Be a hero yourself and buy a bar and let freedom clean.